There comes a moment in life when you must stop waiting for others to notice you, to acknowledge your presence, to celebrate your achievements, or to validate the gift that has already been placed inside of you. Some people are not exhausted because they are doing too much, but because they have been looking in the wrong direction. They have been seeking their worth from individuals who do not even recognize their own. They have been measuring success by standards that were never meant to define them. But today, this is a reminder that your focus is your power. Every single day, there is a battle for your focus. Something is always trying to steal your attention. Distractions appear in many forms: opinions, expectations, past regrets, future anxieties, and even the fear of fully stepping into the person you were always meant to become. Focus is powerful because it determines what you build, what you nurture, and what you bring into existence. When you master your focus, you gain control over your future. When distractions take over, they do not just slow you down, they completely derail you. There is a reason why some individuals seem stuck in cycles, waiting for life to change in their favor. It is not due to a lack of talent, ideas, or potential. It is because they have allowed distractions to delay their destiny. They start with a vision, but then get caught in comparison. They begin the journey, but then doubt creeps in. They take a step forward, but then a voice from their past reminds them of who they used to be, and they hesitate. Distractions are dangerous because they disguise themselves as necessary. They make you believe that you need to explain yourself to people who will never truly understand your calling. They convince you to wait for the perfect time, a time that never arrives. They keep you scrolling through other people's lives instead of building your own. The moment you reclaim your focus, everything transforms. When you stop looking to the left and the right, when you stop engaging with what does not serve you, when you stop allowing fleeting emotions to dictate permanent decisions, you step into an undeniable power. Many of the most successful individuals did not reach greatness because they were the most talented. They did not wait for permission, approval, or applause. They were willing to be misunderstood, willing to look inexperienced while they were still learning, willing to walk alone for a season in order to build something meaningful. They understood that focus is not just about what you give attention to. It is also about what you refuse to give energy to. You do not need everyone to understand your journey. Some people will count you out, not realizing that you were already chosen. Some people will overlook you, not understanding that you were being hidden on purpose, protected until the right time. Your responsibility is not to convince them. Your responsibility is to focus. Focus on the vision that was placed inside of you before the world tried to shape you into something else. Focus on developing so much discipline that even on the days you do not feel like showing up, you still do. Focus on your healing, your growth, and your evolution, because you cannot carry your past into your next level. One of the biggest lies you will ever hear is that you are running out of time, that it is too late, that you have missed your moment. The truth is, as long as you have breath in your body, you have purpose. And as long as you have purpose, you have time. The only thing that runs out is the opportunity you never take. The only thing that expires is the version of you that refuses to grow. Every great individual had a season where they had to be their own biggest believer. They had to trust the vision when no one else could see it. They had to keep moving forward without applause, without recognition, without reassurance. They had to block out the noise and focus on becoming the person who could sustain the weight of their calling. Success is not just about reaching a destination. It is about being prepared to maintain it when you arrive. Focus creates momentum. What you focus on, you feed. If you focus on fear, you strengthen it. If you focus on lack, you multiply it. But if you focus on growth, faith, and discipline, you build something unstoppable. The people who rise, the people who transform their lives, the people who go from overlooked to undeniable, are not always the ones with the best circumstances. They are the ones who decide that distractions will no longer rule over them. When you truly dedicate yourself, people will notice. Not because you are seeking attention, but because transformation cannot be ignored. When you move differently, elevate your thinking, and become intentional about your habits and mindset, the world has no choice but to take notice. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable, not because the world changed, but because you did. Focus is your power, and the moment you claim it, nothing can stop you. There comes a time when you must decide that your worth is not up for negotiation. Too many people are carrying the weight of others' opinions, waiting for validation, hoping someone will finally recognize them, affirm them, or tell them they are enough. The truth is, if you spend your life waiting for people to see you, you will always be searching. People are unpredictable. One day they celebrate you, the next they forget you. One moment they praise you, the next they criticize you. If your worth is based on their approval, you will always feel like you are not enough. You were never meant to live for validation. You were meant to live in purpose. You were designed to walk with confidence, knowing that your value is not determined by likes, applause, or external recognition. You are enough simply because you exist. You are worthy simply because you are here. If you ever doubt that, it is because you have spent too much time looking outward instead of inward. Seeking validation is a trap. It makes you second-guess yourself, shrink your vision, and play small. It convinces you to wait until someone else gives you permission to be who you already are. But the truth is, no one can give you what is already inside of you. The ones who truly step into greatness are not always the most supported. They are the ones who stop waiting. They stop waiting for encouragement, approval, or the right moment. They decide they are enough, whether the world sees it or not. They understand that their purpose is greater than others' opinions. When you stop seeking validation, you take back your power. You no longer need constant reassurance. You do not need someone to tell you that you are talented before you start using your gift. You do not need people to understand your journey before you commit to the process. You simply start, you build, you grow. Commitment is not a feeling, it is a decision. Growth does not happen by accident. It is something you must choose over and over again until it becomes who you are. Many people start strong, fueled by motivation, excited by success. But when challenges arise, when results do not appear quickly, when the process demands more than they expected, they stop. Not because they lack ability, but because they lack the discipline to continue. The journey is not designed to be easy. If growth were simple, everyone would be successful. If discipline came naturally, no one would struggle. The reason so few people reach their full potential is because commitment requires sacrifice. It requires waking up every day and choosing to keep going, choosing to show up, choosing to be better than yesterday. And that choice, every single day, is what separates those who succeed from those who simply dream. There will be times when doubt sneaks in, when distractions seem overwhelming, and when quitting appears to be the better choice. But the individuals who truly transform, those who step into their greatness, are not the ones who never consider quitting. They are the ones who refuse to quit, regardless of how they feel. Discipline is the bedrock of success. It is what distinguishes those who dream from those who achieve. Dreams are easy, ideas are exciting, but it is execution that most people falter in. It's not enough to desire something. You must be willing to do the work day after day, even when you don't feel like it, even when you're exhausted, even when progress feels invisible. Because true progress is often unseen. Growth takes place in moments when no one is applauding you, in the times when you are alone, when you're struggling, when you're questioning whether any of this is worth it. That is when discipline becomes crucial. Success is not about talent. It's not about luck. It's about consistency. It's about choosing to improve every single day, even if it's only by 1%, because small improvements repeated over time result in transformation. However, most people never stick around long enough to witness that transformation. They give up too soon. They get impatient, expecting instant results, and when they don't get them, they conclude that they are incapable, that they are unworthy, that it wasn't meant for them. But the truth is, they didn't fail. There is nothing glamorous about the journey. The world celebrates success, but rarely talks about the process that got people there. The long nights, the early mornings, the setbacks, the sacrifices, the moments of frustration, and the failures that had to be overcome. People want the outcome without going through the process, but it's the process that prepares you for the outcome. If success came too easily, you wouldn't be able to maintain it. If growth happened overnight, you wouldn't value it. This is why the process is necessary. It shapes you, strengthens you, and prepares you for the life you're striving toward. Every step you take in the process matters. Every single one, even the ones that seem insignificant, even the ones no one else notices. Consistency compounds. Every disciplined action, every moment of perseverance, every time you choose to keep going when you could have quit, it all adds up. The problem is, most people don't stay long enough to see the results of their consistency. They stop digging just before they strike gold. They walk away from the process just before the breakthrough. But if you truly commit, if you stay the course, if you keep moving forward no matter what, there will come a time when everything you've worked for, everything you've sacrificed, everything you've stayed consistent for, will finally align. The process will test you, it will challenge you, it will make you question yourself. But it's also where you will discover your strength. It's where you will uncover what you're truly capable of. It's where you will prove to yourself that you are not someone who gives up when things get tough. Discipline is not just about achieving goals. It's about becoming the person who can achieve them. It's about cultivating the mindset, the habits, and the resilience that will carry you through every challenge, every obstacle, every setback. Most people desire shortcuts, but shortcuts don't lead to lasting success. What is built quickly often falls apart just as quickly. However, what is built with consistency, patience, and unwavering commitment will withstand the test of time. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be perfect. You simply need to stay committed. The individuals who succeed are not the ones who had the easiest path. They are the ones who stayed when others walked away, who kept building when others gave up, who understood that growth isn't about how fast you go, it's about how long you're willing to keep going. Your process is shaping you. Every struggle, every delay, every moment of uncertainty is working in your favor, even when it doesn't feel like it. You might not see it now, but there will come a time when you look back and realize that every challenge was essential, that every difficult moment taught you something, and that every delay was building something inside you that you couldn't see at the time. Stay the course. Keep showing up. Keep pushing forward, because the ones who commit to the process, who embrace discipline, and who choose consistency over convenience are the ones who don't just achieve success. They become the kind of person who can sustain it. That is the true goal. Not just to reach success, but to be ready for it when it arrives. There will always be noise. There will always be opinions, distractions, whispers, and doubts. Some from the outside, some from within. If you're not careful, you will spend your entire life responding to voices that were never meant to guide you. You will find yourself shifting, hesitating, second-guessing your every move because someone somewhere had something to say about it. But the truth is, not every voice deserves your attention. Not every opinion warrants a response. Not every distraction should drain your energy. When you're walking in purpose, noise is inevitable. As you begin stepping into something greater, people will talk. Some will criticize, some will doubt. Some will project their own fears onto you because they don't understand the vision that God placed inside of you. If you live for their approval, you will die by their rejection. If you let their words shape you, you will always be molded by opinions that have nothing to do with your destiny. People will always have something to say. They'll claim you're too much or not enough. They'll question why you're taking the risks you're taking, why you're dreaming the way you're dreaming, why you believe in something they can't see. But they are not the authors of your calling. They did not place the vision inside of you. They do not have the final say on where you're going. Too many people let noise stop them. They hear a negative comment and suddenly they doubt everything. They hear criticism and they shrink back. But those who truly rise, those who step into greatness, are not the ones who never heard negativity. They are the ones who refuse to let it control them. They kept moving when people doubted them. They kept believing when others laughed. They kept pushing forward when the world told them to stop. The noise will never stop, but you can stop listening to it. You can stop giving it power. You can stop letting it dictate your decisions, your confidence, and your movements. There is a difference between wisdom and distraction. Wisdom builds you, guides you, strengthens you. Distraction confuses you, weakens you, and keeps you stuck. The problem is too many people mistake one for the other. They think that because someone has an opinion, it must mean something. They think that just because someone is talking, they must have authority. But real authority doesn't come from the loudest voice. It comes from the voice that speaks truth. You don't need everyone to understand you. You don't need everyone to agree with you. Some people will never support you because they don't even support themselves. Some will always criticize you because they're too afraid to do what you're doing. Their noise is a reflection of them, not of you. The moment you stop letting noise control you, you stop trying to prove yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You stop shrinking to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. Instead, you focus. You focus on your growth, on your process, on becoming the person you were always meant to be. When you truly focus on yourself, the noise fades. Not because it disappears, but because you stop giving it space in your mind. You stop checking for people who aren't checking for you. You stop worrying about opinions that contribute nothing to your purpose. You stop letting distractions delay your destiny. When you keep moving, when you keep building, when you keep showing up despite what anyone says, something powerful happens. The same people who doubted you will have no choice but to acknowledge you. The same voices that said you couldn't will be the ones whispering about how you did. But by then it won't even matter because you will have already arrived. Not because they approved of you, but because you decided you never needed their approval in the first place. Too many people are chasing something they should be becoming. They chase success, chase validation, chase opportunities, thinking that if they get the right attention, the right recognition, or the right platform, everything will fall into place. But success is not something you chase, it's something you grow into. It's not about being seen, it's about being prepared. It's not about getting noticed, it's about becoming the person who can sustain the very thing you're asking for. Chasing success will drain you. It will have you hopping from one thing to another, trying to force open doors that were never meant to open. It will keep you seeking approval, seeking shortcuts, seeking the next big moment, instead of building something lasting. But when you focus on becoming, you understand that success is not an event, it's a process. It's not about a moment in time, it's about who you are consistently becoming over time. The world will tell you to chase the spotlight, chase influence, chase the illusion of success. But if you gain the spotlight without substance, if you gain influence without integrity, if you gain success without the character to sustain it, it will all crumble. What's the point of getting everything you wanted if you're not the person who can handle it? What's the point of being seen if you're not truly ready for what comes with it? Real success is not about what you have, it's about who you are. It's about the discipline, the growth, the transformation that happens in the unseen places. It's about becoming someone who doesn't just chase opportunities, but attracts them because of who they've become. People who truly succeed don't run after things. They focus on mastering themselves, their craft, their mindset, their discipline, and because of that, success follows them. But chasing is tempting. It feels like movement. It makes you feel like you're doing something, like you're making progress. But movement without direction is just distraction. If you spend your life chasing, you will always be searching. If you spend your life trying to be noticed, you will always be at the mercy of external validation. But when you decide to become, you take control. You shift your focus from getting to growing, from wanting to preparing, from waiting to working. When you focus on becoming, success becomes inevitable, not because you chased it, but because you built yourself up. You put in the work when no one was watching. You develop the skills, the habits, the mindset, the consistency that cannot be ignored. Instead of chasing attention, you made yourself undeniable. People who chase often burn out. They get frustrated when things don't happen fast enough. They feel defeated when they don't get the recognition they were hoping for. But those who focus on becoming stay grounded. They understand that every season has a purpose, that every delay is building something inside them, that every lesson is preparing them for something greater. They are not swayed by the opinions of others because they are too busy becoming the best version of themselves. Becoming is quiet. It happens in the discipline of showing up every day, even when no one is clapping. It happens in the late nights, in the early mornings, in the moments when quitting would be easier, but commitment keeps you moving. It happens in the choices you make when no one is watching, in the decisions you make when no one is praising you. And when you truly commit to that process, you don't have to chase anything, because success, the right opportunities, and the right people will recognize who you've become. The ones who rise are not the ones who ran the fastest. They are the ones who stayed the most consistent, the ones who built their foundations so solid that nothing could shake them. The ones who understood that real transformation is worth more than temporary attention. The ones who knew that the work they did in private would one day produce results that couldn't be ignored. So stop chasing. Stop running after things that were always meant to come to you in time. Stop exhausting yourself trying to be seen when you should be focused on becoming someone worth seeing. Because when you become, the focus will shift. The world will take notice. But by then, you won't even be concerned with being noticed, because you will already know who you are. There is something powerful about staying focused when no one is watching. There is something unshakable about someone who commits to their growth, their vision, and their purpose without constantly looking around to see who's paying attention. Too many people stop moving forward because they feel unseen. They feel like their effort is being wasted, like their work is going unnoticed, like no one cares about what they're doing. But what they don't realize is that true recognition doesn't come from chasing attention. It comes from staying committed long enough that the world has no choice but to notice. The problem is, people want instant results. They want the world to acknowledge them before they've even put in the work. They want applause before they've built something worth clapping for. But real success, real mastery, real growth happens in the places no one sees. It happens in the hours spent practicing, in the early mornings and late nights, in the discipline of showing up even when it feels like nothing is happening. The world does not reward those who start strong and fade away. It rewards those who remain consistent, who refuse to quit, who keep showing up when no one is watching. Some of the most influential people in the world were once unknown. There was a time when no one knew their name, when no one saw their talent, when no one recognized their greatness. But they didn't let that stop them. They didn't wait for the world to approve of them before they started building. They didn't let the absence of recognition make them question their ability. They understood that if they stayed focused, if they kept putting in the work, the results would eventually speak for themselves. The truth is, the world is always watching, even when you think it isn't. People notice the ones who keep showing up. They notice the ones who remain committed when others give up. They notice the ones who choose growth over excuses, progress over distractions, and consistency over instant gratification. When you stay focused on your journey, the world will take notice. Not because you ask for it, but because what you are building will be too great to ignore. But the ones who get noticed are not the ones who loudly proclaim what they're going to do. They are the ones who stay quiet and do it. They are not the ones who seek attention. They are the ones who stay so committed to their work that attention finds them. They are not the ones who get frustrated when they're overlooked. They are the ones who understand that the right recognition comes at the right time. The ones who rise are the ones who don't let the lack of an audience stop them from performing. They don't need constant validation to keep going. They don't need immediate results to stay committed. They have an unshakable belief in their vision, in their growth, in their process, in their effort, in their confidence, in their inspiration. Because of that, they keep moving forward, knowing that every step they take, even the ones that feel small, is leading them somewhere greater. It's easy to get discouraged when you feel like no one sees you. It's easy to think your effort is pointless when it's not being recognized. But the truth is, every great thing takes time. Every strong foundation is built in the unseen places. Every major success story started as a season of being unnoticed. The difference between those who stay overlooked and those who refuse to stop recognized is simple. The ones who get recognized are the ones who refuse to stop. They keep showing up, keep growing, keep pushing forward. They don't stop because people aren't watching. They keep going until people have no choice but to watch. They don't quit because they aren't being acknowledged. They stay committed until their results speak louder than any words ever could. And when that moment comes, when the world finally sees what you've been building, when the recognition starts to appear, you will realize that you never really needed it in the first place. By then, you will have already become the person you were always meant to be. That is more than any applause, any attention, any validation. That is any hate and any fidelity that anybody at the end of the earth is already meant to be. Because you will know that the world is noticing you, not because you chased recognition, but because you focused so deeply that recognition had no choice but to find you. So let them overlook you, let them misunderstand you, let them whisper, because when you stay consistent, when you stay committed, when you keep showing up even when no one claps, one day the focus will shift. One day the very people who dismissed you will have no choice but to acknowledge you. But by then, you won't even be concerned with their validation, because you will have already stepped into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. So keep building, keep believing, keep becoming. Focus on yourself until the focus is you.